Queen Elizabeth II. Her life history and quotes. From 1952 to 2022, Queen Elizabeth II was the head of the Commonwealth, a group of 53 independent countries that includes several former British possessions, as well as the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom, England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, and numerous other realms and territories. The Queen was incredibly well-liked for almost the entirety of her lengthy reign, and was credited with modernizing many parts of the monarchy, in addition to her ceremonial duties. She was also noted for taking a genuine interest in political and governmental concerns. Elizabeth became the longest-reigning British monarch in history in September 2015, surpassing Victoria, her great-grandmother, who held the throne for 63 years and 216 days. Elizabeth commemorated her Platinum Jubilee in February 2022, recognizing 7 decades of service to the Commonwealth. Given that her father was a junior son of King George V, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, the eldest daughter of Prince Albert, Duke of York, and his wife, Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, was thought to have little prospect of succeeding to the throne when she was born on April 21, 1926. However, her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated in late 1936 in order to wed Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. As a result, her father was elevated to the position of King George VI, and the 10-year-old Lilibet, as she was referred to in the family, was named the heir apparent. Princess Elizabeth was highly affected by her mother, who instilled in her a devout Christian faith, as well as a keen knowledge of the duties of royal life, despite the fact that she spent most of her childhood with nannies. Elizabeth and her younger sister Margaret were likewise schooled in the nuances of royal etiquette by their grandmother, Queen Mary, wife of King George V. The princess received a private education with a focus on British history and law, as well as lessons in music and fluent French. She obtained Girl Guide training, the British equivalent of Girl Scouts, and a lifetime love of horses. She had a lot of thoroughbred racehorses as the Queen, and she frequently went to races and breeding competitions. Elizabeth had a well-known bond with Pembroke Welsh Corgis as a young kid and owned more than 30 of them during her reign. Elizabeth and Margaret lived separated from their parents for a significant portion of World War II, in the Royal Lodge at Windsor Castle, a fortified castle outside of London. The King elevated Elizabeth to the rank of honorary colonel in the Royal Army's 500 Grenadier Guards in 1942. He appointed her to the Privy Council and the Council of State 2 years later, allowing her to represent him while he was away from the country. The announcement of Elizabeth's engagement to Prince Philip of Greece, her third cousin, they were both great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, and a lieutenant in the Royal Navy, came in 1947, not long after the royal family had returned from an official visit to South Africa and Rhodesia. She had set her sights on him when she was just 13 years old, and during the war, their connection grew through visits and letters. Due to his lack of wealth and foreign, German, ancestry, many in the royal circle thought Philip and Elizabeth were an inappropriate match, but Elizabeth remained steadfast and deeply in love. On November 20, 1947, she and Philip were married in Westminster Abbey. A daughter, and Princess Royal, was born 2 years after their first child, Charles, Prince of Wales, afterwards King Charles III. Prince Andrew, the third child and second son of Queen Elizabeth, and Prince Philip, was born in 1960, while Prince Edward, the couple's youngest child, was born in 1964. Elizabeth and Philip had a remarkable 73 years of marriage when the prince passed away in April 2021 at the age of 99. In 1951, as her father's health deteriorated, Elizabeth filled in for him at several state events. Elizabeth and Philip left on a tour of Australia and New Zealand after spending that Christmas with the royal family. They stopped in Kenya on the way. On February 6, 1952, when King George VI passed away from lung cancer at the age of 56, they were in Kenya. His 25-year-old daughter then became the sixth woman to hold the British throne in history. The Westminster Abbey witnessed her official coronation as Queen Elizabeth II on June 2, 1953. Elizabeth became accustomed to her job as queen during the first 10 years of her reign, growing close to Prime Minister Winston Churchill, the first of 15 prime leaders she would deal with during her reign, surviving the Suez Crisis of 1956 and taking numerous official trips overseas. The Queen adopted measures to modernize the monarchies and her own image after receiving sharp criticism in the media, such as the first broadcast of her annual Christmas message on television in 1957. Two more children, Andrew, born in 1960, and Edward, were born to Elizabeth and Philip, born 1964. Charles became a legal adult and began a protracted spell as a king-in-waiting when he was legally invested as the Prince of Wales in 1968. The Silver Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth in 1977, which commemorated her 25 years as monarch, stood out in a time of economic hardship. She maintained a demanding itinerary to honor the anniversary, covering around 56,000 miles across the Commonwealth, stopping in places including Canada, the British West Indies, New Zealand, Australia, and the island republics of Fiji and Tonga. The royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer at London's St. Paul's Cathedral in 1981 brought back the spotlight to the family. Although they soon welcomed two boys, William and Harry, their marriage quickly crumbled, greatly embarrassing the Queen and the entire royal family in front of the public. Princess Anne and her husband, Mark Phillips, divorced in 1992, the family's annus horribilis, which saw the separation of Charles and Diana, Prince Andrew and his wife, Sarah Ferguson, and the separation of Prince Andrew and Princess Anne. During the first decade of the 21st century, the Queen's and the royal family's popularity recovered, despite the fact that 2002 was Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee, 50 years, as monarch. The early deaths of her sister and mother, the adored Queen Mum, put a damper on the celebrations. When the Queen approved of Prince Charles's formerly unthinkable marriage to his longtime girlfriend Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005, she received widespread backing from the public. In April 2011, Prince William and Catherine Middleton were married at Westminster Abbey under the auspices of Queen Elizabeth, who was then in her 7th decade as monarch. The line of succession was continued by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's children, Prince George, born in 2013, Princess Charlotte, born in 2015, and Prince Louis. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are the next monarchs of Britain, born 2018. Prince Philip retired from his royal duties in 2017 at the age of 96. Throughout much of his wife's reign, he was a steadfast supporter by her side and one of Britain's busy royals. The royal couple celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary in the same year, making their marriage the oldest in British monarchy history. In 2021, Philip passed away at the age of 99. The biracial divorcee Meghan Markle, whose welcome by the royal family demonstrated how contemporary it had become over Elizabeth's lengthy reign, was married to Prince Harry in May 2018. Archie Mountbatten Windsor, a son, was born to the couple in 2019, and Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, a daughter, in 2021. At various points, there were rumors circulating that Queen Elizabeth would abdicate so that Prince Charles might ascend to the throne. She transferred several of her royal duties to him in 2017, including the formal Remembrance Day ceremony, which fueled rumors that she was getting ready to pass the crown to her eldest son. Instead, she remained a constant, steady force at the top of the British royal family, until her tranquil passing away at her cherished country home, Balmoral Castle, in September 2022. She continued to do many of her formal tasks, made several public appearances, and spent a lot of time outdoors, with her adored horses and dogs, in the later years of her reign. She formally appointed Liz Truss as the new Prime Minister 2 days before to her passing. As a Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II also has wise quotes. Here are the quotes. Grief is the price we pay for love. I know of no single formula for success, but over the years, I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm, and their inspiration to work together. I cannot lead you into battle. I do not give you laws or administer justice, but I can do something else. I can give my heart and my devotion to these old islands and to all the peoples of our brotherhood of nations. The lessons from the peace process are clear. Whatever life throws at us, our individual responses will be all the stronger for working together and sharing the load. First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness. I admired and respected her for her energy and commitment to others, and especially for her devotion to her 2 boys. The upward course of a nation's history is due in the long run to the soundness of heart of its average men and women. My husband has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years, and I owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim. The British Constitution has always been puzzling and always will be. No one who knew Diana will ever forget her. Millions of others who never met her, but felt they knew her, will remember her. It is easy enough to define what the Commonwealth is not. Indeed, this is quite a popular pastime. The events that I have attended to mark my Diamond Jubilee have been a humbling experience. It has touched me deeply to see so many thousands of families, neighbors, and friends celebrating together in such a happy atmosphere. Madam President, speaking here in Dublin Castle, it is impossible to ignore the weight of history, as it was yesterday, when you and I laid wreaths at the Garden of Remembrance. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service, and the service of our great imperial family, to which we all belong. I have in sincerity pledged myself to your service, as so many of you are pledged to mine. Throughout all my life, and with all my heart, I shall strive to be worthy of your trust. At its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions. It is a noble profession. Therefore, I am sure that this, my coronation, is not the symbol of a power and a splendor that are gone, but a declaration of our hopes for the future, and for the years I may, by God's grace and mercy, be given to reign and serve you as your queen. To all those who have suffered, as a consequence of our troubled past, I extend my sincere thoughts and deep sympathy. With the benefit of historical hindsight, we can all see things which we would wish had been done differently, or not at all. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.